Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
all
soon.
time. We got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do.
What's happening, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to Mindful Reality, reality TV from a mental health perspective. And as you can see, it's day 94, soon to be day 95 if you're on the East Coast. Wow, that's a lot of days. That is a lot of days. Let's get to these comments really quick. Apologies for being late. Let me go right to the top. Good evening. I got my earbuds, so I will you talk when you start. Waiting to hope that things work out for Matt. I can't take much more of Jag and Bowie. Well, Jag and Bowie are the wave of the future. There's nothing we can do. Felicia is probably history after the veto. I don't think so. I think Jag's going to take him out and Bowie's going to take him out. I watch every time Mark is on, but just figured out the chat. Oh, that's funny. Welcome to the chat. Hi, Lisa. It's me again, Margaret. Hi, YTC. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Drana. Hi, Cass. Hello, Ma. Hi, D. Hi, Tammy. I have officially stuffed my robe pockets with the kids' Halloween candy, ready for this. Hello, Jen. Does he really have 10 comp wins? Goodness. Wow. Matt doesn't know how to campaign. He does not. He brings up that Felicia took his coffee. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Trisha. We got England in the building. Is this your first time here, Sophie? Is this your first time on my live? Let me know. Oh, you let me know in the next comment. So, everybody give Sophie a wave. Give Sophie a hand emoji in the comments, please. Thank you, Sophie, for jumping on my live. I appreciate you, and I hope that you come back often. And just so you know, I've been on here all 94 days of Big Brother this season. This is my first season covering an entire season of Big Brother. So you are part of something, and you didn't even know it. Hi, Danny. Hi, Miss Nappy Kid. I don't think the campaigning is going to make a lick of difference. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for the warm welcome. You're welcome. This is what we do. This is the Mindful Reality family. And if it's your first time here, aside from Sophie or including Sophie, this is the channel that is different from the other channels because we get on here, we talk about our opinions about the house guests and about the different shows and things we like and things we don't like. But this is not a channel that is hate-based. It is not based on hate. We respect each other's opinions. The commentary and the coverage is as much as I can be. It's unbiased. Obviously, there's biases that everybody has, but My channel is not going to be based around my biases. I always say that when somebody's like, oh, I'm sorry I hopped on your channel late. I say better late than never. So I agree with you right there. Tammy, hi, Tammy. So for those who don't know, I guess this would be a spoiler, but I know that everyone who is tuned into my channel knows that it's pretty much a Big Brother spoiler channel. And the spoiler is that Jag won the power of veto. Surprise, surprise. We're so surprised that Jag won the power of veto. Good evening, Mark and music lovers. And for those who don't know, I am a music lover. By the way, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because those who have been here before know that I put in work on this channel and I don't miss a beat and I don't miss a day. 1/4 of this entire year, I've been on this channel every single day, Sunday to Saturday. I took a few trips. I went to Orlando and I was still on. I went to Maryland. I went to Virginia. I was still on. I have not missed a day. And that is the math of the channels. The math isn't mathing. And with that said, we have 25 viewers right now. I don't know how many likes we have, but because there was a reference to math ain't mathing, I'm going to ask Nicole to take us home real quick.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
Please help the math. If you enjoy the channel, if you are enjoying the channel for the first time, or if you've been here consistently, or if you're here once in a while, basically anybody and everyone, just hit the like button. Liking is free. It never hurt nobody. My prediction came true. I mean, I thought that it was true too, so I didn't disagree with you there. Was the veto comp on the days in the house? I actually don't know. Does anyone know what the veto comp was? Because I was so uninterested after I saw the Jag won it that I didn't actually watch any feeds or look up anything that said what the comp was. 17 likes and boring. I agree. No idea, and I don't care anymore at this point. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Mark, do you think they will show veto? They'll probably show both. Yeah, because Tuesday has to be the look back episode. So Sunday has to show everything. So Sunday will probably show the HOH noms, and then it will show the veto comp, and it will show the veto noms. It has to, right? Unless they're going to combine the veto ceremony and the look back, but I don't think so. I think the look back is generally the entire episode, right? So if it's going by how it usually is, then they're going to cram all that stuff into one episode on Sunday, which I'm fine with. Although I would also be fine with cutting the look back episode in half or cutting it out. I hate the look back episode. It's not interesting to me at all. Hey, do you remember on day 15 when this happened? Who cares? I wish that they would cut that episode out altogether and then just make like an extra episode at the end after the show is done, for if somebody wanted to see extra footage or behind the scenes footage. Just put it at the end, and those who actually like that episode can watch it on their own time. Please. Ma is over it. Ma is not the only one. They have to, because that's an eviction. Oh, Ma is angry that BB25 hasn't been deleted yet. That was a good one. They said on the feeds it was a comp veto kind of competition. What do you mean by a comp veto? Like a physical comp? I didn't even know Jag won until D told me. I have skipped actually plenty of the look back episodes. Like, I'm not interested in look back episodes at all. We already finished at that point. Even on good seasons, I'm not interested in look back episodes. I thought the Comerica thing, just like their actual relationship, I thought it was weird. The blue one made sense, you know, with the cat woman or cat suit. The hippies thing for Cameron, I don't really get that. He's younger than me. I don't know. It was all right. I am over this season as well. Camp veto competition. Well said, Deborah. What did Deborah say? I missed it. I missed whatever Deborah said. Anyways, wasn't Red supposed to be the chill Billy? Yeah, I know. So, maybe that's why he was in the hippie thing, because they were the chillers. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was referring to Cam's hair. I don't know. Deborah just typed ampersand by accident. That girl Felicia looked bored. When I actually turned on the feeds about 2 hours ago. I'm like, let me check what's happening on the feeds. And Jag was asleep. They were all, the three of them were in the HOH room. They were not showing Felicia on the feeds at all. And Jag was asleep. Bowie was just laying there saying nothing, and Matt was laying there saying nothing. Cam does not seem younger than you. He does not have a youthful look, that's for sure. I mean, he's not that much younger than me. He's like, what, 2 years younger than me, something like that. Cam is Bowie Janelle, Janieing us. I thought that said Janelling at first. I checked out weeks ago. I've been catching reviews. I checked out weeks ago also, but I'm not going to check out on y'all. That's the reason why I'm still here. I'm not going to check out on this group. But if it was not for this group and I was just watching this only as a fan, yeah, I would have been done. The week that Izzy went out was pretty much the last really entertaining. Jackie from NY, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Do you think Danielle Reyes would have, oh wait, you never saw BB3? I never saw the whole season of BB3. I did see some of it. Matt was playing cards and Bowie and Matt were talking about Felicia's game. See, they're just, to me, they're just trying to justify the moves that they've made, honestly. By the way, I'm still thinking about that game night that's not out. I actually wanted to do it today, the game night, but tough day at work. Tomorrow, I guess tomorrow is the veto ceremony, I assume. Yes, I think Saturday will be the veto ceremony. So if they do that early enough, I can do a live about the veto ceremony, which we already know. Or I guess we don't know necessarily, because that's the question that I asked. Will Matt survive? Well, we know. Oh, so there's 4 people left, and Jag won. So that means that Jag is going to be the sole vote to evict. Therefore, Jag getting Matt out, those words have to come out of his own mouth. It's not going to be a voting situation where multiple people vote and he can say, oh, this is what the house wants. Multiple people decided this. Nah, it's just you, bruh. So if Matt gets voted out, it's going to be Jag voting him out. Just like how Big D did with Kyland. And just like how Monty did with Turner. Not Turner. Who was the person that he voted out? Oh, yeah. He made the choice with Turner in the last 3. But who made the choice in the last 4? I can't remember. Felicia was campaigning a little to Jag, saying she doesn't lie, but maybe gives out too much info. No, she lies. Big Brother production even caught her in some of her lies on the pre-produced episodes. I think that Daniel Reyes walked so Taylor and Xavier could crawl, if that makes any sense. Who would I hope that it's a legend season like they are rumoring. If they actually bring Big Brother back in the winter, I was like, I have Big Brother burnout. But if they actually brought back Taylor, Dan Giesling, Rachel, Janelle, all these like legendary players, I'd be very happy. No, I'm not doing it now, but I might do it tomorrow if I can. If they did the jury the modern way, that's the other thing. It wasn't the same. Bowie. Wait, you don't know the legend? Danielle Reyes is one of my favorite house guests ever. Even I'm tired, but I'm fighting a cold. Matt and Bowie said they played a clean game. That's a funny joke. Tonight's feed's going in tomorrow morning. Why do you think they'll be interesting? Brittany. Who voted? No, I wasn't asking who was in the final 4. I was asking when they had 4, who was the person who voted out the 4th person? That's what I can't remember. Yeah, remember when Big D made the decision when there was 4 left? That was the whole thing that sparked that whole Kyland thing where X was like, don't talk about my nephew. He will vote to take Matt out and he will lose to either Bowie or Mama Fee. Okay, because I thought that he chose 2 times. So, yeah, it was 2 times that he chose. He chose on to get out Brittany, and then he chose again because he won the final comp. So he got to choose between Taylor and Turner, and he made the worst mistake of his life. Cam is a stay-at-home dad, but is he married? I don't think so. He never said anything about a wife. Maybe he's a widower. I don't want to be insensitive if that's the case. After BB22, I have no hope for an All Legends season. Brittany was the one that got voted out 4th. I mean, if the jury was sequestered, I'd rather a celebrity Big Brother. I don't like celebrity Big Brother. Ma, don't worry, Cody and his pre-gaming won't be there. Cam's divorced and lives with his parents. I thought Xavier didn't. It was the most dramatic moment of that whole season. Big D I mean, Xavier was the one who influenced Big D to do that, but Big D was the one, and this for me was one of the funniest things. Maybe it wasn't funny to anyone else, but Big D every eviction night was like, "I sadly to a vote, Julie. I sadly a vote. I sadly to a vote. I sadly to evote." And then all of a sudden, when we got to the 4, and he's picking arguably the biggest eviction of the whole season, he was like, "I owe nobody in this game. I sadly vote to evict Kyland." And I'm like, you said this wrong every single elimination up to this point. And then you spoke perfectly when it was time to evict Kyland. I found that so funny for no reason. I feel so bad for Felicia today. I was watching the feeds today and she's all alone. His ex-wife dodged a bullet. Mandela effect. I guess I thought so too. I like Celebrity BB. I miss it. I like Big Brother Canada. Well, I liked Big Brother Canada season 5. And then I watched the most recent season of Big Brother Canada. And while I did like moments in that season, I hated the fact that there was no live feeds. But BB Canada season 5 is a classic. I haven't seen another full season of BB Can aside from 5 and 11, but I've seen moments from season 1, 2, 3. I definitely want to go back and watch some of those seasons because classic moments happen on there. Honestly, the pre-gaming wasn't the issue. There was pre-gaming in BB7, but the problem was the steamrolling. Contrary to a lot of people, I didn't hate BB22. It's not like my favorite season or anything, but I did not hate it. I liked BB22. X was the HOH and Big D had the only vote. Jag gonna blindside Matt, and Matt is gonna get in his face. Do you think he's actually gonna do that? Jag, don't talk about my scenarios. Oh, yeah. When I read the first half of that, I'm like, I can't see Matt doing that. Well played. I didn't even think that was a joke. Why exactly is he staying home? I don't get it. Did Big D win the veto? No. I think X won the veto and kept the noms the same, which left Big D with the votes because Big D did not win anything. Mandela effect is real because Xavier and Kylan were already having a discussion where Kylan was like, "Why would you not use the veto on me? If we're locked in this final 2 that you say that we're in, why would you not use the veto to take me off of the block?" So I think that's what happened with that. I thought you saw 9. I want a BB All-Stars International. Deborah was just a hunch, but I don't think he works. I missed something. BB22 isn't my least favorite, but it's definitely like 5th worst. BB17 was on my favorite as well. I mean, funny thing is, I told everybody that BB16 was probably, if not my favorite, one of my top 3. And a lot of people were like, 16 ushered in this new era, blah, blah, blah. I liked 16 a lot. Maybe for what it stood for, not in terms of excitement and intrigue, but for what it stood for, BB23 is probably, my favorite season, but I'm not going to say it was the most action-packed or suspenseful, obviously. I liked Frankie on BB16, I'm not going to lie. I still find it as a classic moment when he did that thing, that same thing that Cameron did, or something similar to that thing that Cameron did for the Zombie Fest. And he did that 1-on-2 because of Caleb being like, oh, I'm not even gonna, you're gonna have to do this on your own. And he won. He's like, this one's for you, Ariana. And nobody paid attention to that at all. A grown man wouldn't be living with. I liked Canada 9, but couldn't stand 6 and 7. I forget which, but one had a good ending, but was frustrating getting there. BB22 had a lot of people in an alliance and them winning over and over every week. I still liked it. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Really, I thought he was annoying and desperate for attention from his sister. Oh, well, look at what Big Brother is now. The funny thing is, that's what you thought for BB16. Now everybody on Big Brother is like that. I could tolerate having one person on there like that. Now, like 75, 80% of the cast is just there for the attention only. Me and on a game show for 3 months. Enzo and Cody started working together immediately because he was from New Jersey. And also because Enzo was cool with I think Enzo was cool with Enzo had some kind of other connection with him. I forgot how, but Enzo had some kind of connection with him. I'm pretty sure Davon and Kevin were the only 2 non-committee members to win a comp. I guess I was just a Cody fan, and I was just impressed with the way that Cody got through that season and managed that season. But if I didn't like Cody, I probably would hate the season. I really started out liking Frankie, but at some point he changed. I think it was after he told them his real last name. The Frankie secret was low-key a little bit like the Sari and Jared secret in a way. It's not exactly the same, but it was kind of like that. Because there was an intrigue to discovering whether that was ever going to come out or not. Cody bias. I mean, if you say that you don't have biases, you're lying. There's no way around that. If you live on this earth and you watch shows like this with so many different people, so many different walks of life, and you say, I don't have any biases, then you're lying. There's no other way around that. But I wouldn't base my opinion on a whole season. Like a season was just a BB25. Like, let's say I really like Jag and the whole rest of the season was just terrible, and the only thing I like is one person, I wouldn't say the season is good. So that's just a case of different opinion. The funny thing is about Enzo. When I met Enzo, I was like, I always had this thought in my head. I was like, Enzo's the happiest second place finisher I've ever seen. So when I saw Enzo at the Challenge Mania event earlier this year, I think it was February, I said that to him. I was like, Enzo, you are the happiest second place finisher I've ever seen in my life. He was like, yo, hey, yo. He said, I knew that I didn't play a good enough game to even deserve second place. So I was just going to take my 50K. I was happy to get anything. He's like, I'm in my 40s already. I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to beat Cody. So I was like, this is my boy. My boy got me 50K when I was going to leave with nothing. So that's that. I never saw BB22 fully, but always make jokes about Cody pregame. My mom watched it, and I remember her forcing me to vote Devon AFP on all devices email, but I like her. Devon, I miss Devon. Devon had such classic moments on this show. I have probably watched that fight that she had with Christmas like a triple digit amount of times. I don't care if your sister's got one less problem without you, Frankie. You're creating a problem for me. Enzo was one of my first Big Brother favorites along with Hayden. Man, just keep breathing and breathing and breathing. He was like, yeah, second place. 50K ain't bad. 50K ain't bad. I love you. I love you, Cody. You're my man. I love you, bro. Yeah. I'm like, you don't even think there's a chance for you to win. They were laughing at his final two speech. Enzo's final two speech was hilarious. Isn't Enzo the one I heard didn't bathe? I can't keep breathing. I'm congested. Haley and Tyler fight was crazy in BB20. That was Turner. Devon walked so Mimi could run. I don't even see a comparison between Devon and Mimi at all. Not on my daughter's birthday. Barley and Tyler. 75K ain't bad. Big D and Bowie Jane. But low-key Bowie Jane would have a chance at beating Jag in a final two. That was McRae from BB15 that didn't bathe. Just for him to go on the challenge and rob Desi. But Desi got her get back. Desi won the Challenge USA 2 along with Chris. Desi and Chris. For anyone who's a Survivor fan, 2 Survivor players won the Challenge USA 2 most recently. Oh, yeah, Turner too. They had funny moments, but not the same kind of funny. I'm still pissed that they allowed Chris. I know, right? Jeanette, what's her name? Jasmine. Jasmine was trying to use the Christmas strategy to win. Jasmine was trying to use but I always remember that season for being the one where freaking Josh won. Because I remember when I saw Josh, his first season on the challenge. Oh, you can't talk to me because I'm the only winner of Big Brother to ever come on this show. So I remember when I watched I hadn't seen his Big Brother season at that point in time. And I went back and I watched it and I was like, how did you win? This is the least impressive Big Brother win that I've ever seen in my life. If Bowie Jane wins, I'm applying for Big Brother when I turn 21. She might. Okay, Ma, thanks much. Yes, Chris deserves that win. Chris was an elimination beast. Chris was like the other Chris. I mean, I'm not saying he's CT, but what I am saying is that it was a season where everybody was against him and they kept throwing him into the elims and he kept beating people and taking them out. So as much as I would have loved one of my challenge people to win, I could not say that Chris didn't deserve the win for the guys. BB19 is the worst season to this day. Bitter jury. He only won because Paul had crappy jury management. And he still only won by 1 vote, which, by the way, why do we keep seeing that poster on the wall when nothing is happening with these BB Comics posters? they stopped doing the thing with the different universes, the scary verse and the Humiliverse and whatever verse, the Scramble verse. They literally did 4 weeks of that, 1 week for each one of them. And then they were like, oh, we're done. Now these things on the wall are just going to be decoration. Because I'm sitting here thinking, oh, Paul wins this back-to-back seasons. The cookout was stopped by this person. I thought that all these different things were going to be related to the game in some way, but they weren't. I thought that little intro they did at the beginning was going to be somehow related to the game, but it's not. We only have 1 week left. Matter of fact, how about all this stuff they've been memorizing is useless because they haven't done any competition that has memorization based on things that are in the house. I mean, I know they're probably going to do one thing about house stuff at the end, but they usually do more than one. Do you think the competitions were rigged for big competitors? Yes. America made it seem like they were rigged. She said they were harder than they look. But the other thing is, I think people were throwing comps. I do think that people were throwing comps. I get angry just hearing Josh's name. I was so happy when it lost in the arena on the challenge. The Netherverse. The multiverse where Jack wasn't saved. I was happy to see him do well. I was rooting for him because I watched the Survivor, and he kept saying that he was the first person voted out of Survivor. By the way, Cass and everybody, and well, people in my Discord already know, I watched the Survivor episode last night, and I'm like, wow. On the Survivor episode, Caleb played his shot in the dark. His shot in the dark, for those who don't watch Survivor, is a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to be safe if it says that you're safe. He was saved. He was safe, and he was unanimously voted out of the game. And because he used his shot in the dark, none of the votes against him counted, and they had to do a revote. That was crazy. Both of Bowie HOH comp wins, and here moves she made, literally people telling her how to play. And also, I feel like all of her wins have been on the same comp. It feels like she's won on the same thing multiple times. I thought this season was going to have some, I thought so as well. I thought that they were going to have some ode to past seasons. And then they threw the pressure cooker in there early on. And you're like, oh, okay. Pressure cooker is just one thing of many things that they're going to do. After pressure cooker, they're going to bring back this and they're going to bring back that. They're going to bring Taylor in there. And they're going to bring in the hitman. And then they're going to bring Janelle. They're going to bring Rachel. They're going to do this and this. And here we are on day 94. What have they done? What have you done, big brother?
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing for this to be an anniversary season. This season is whack. This season on a Mimi scale, hold on a second. If y'all don't know the Mimi scale, I've had the Mimi scale all season. It gives me bored Mimi and annoyed Mimi and migraine Mimi combined. They all did the fusion dance. She has the worst guesses and still wins. They're not even close. You can't even say that she's good. Somebody said she's good at math, and I'm like, how are you How is she good at math when none of her guesses have been anything close to the number? It's like when The Price is Right happens and they're like, how much does this phone cost? And the first person is like, I got $872. The second person is like, I got 9,572. And the third person is like, I got 3,265. And then the fourth person comes and they're like, I got $1, Bob. $1. And he's like, actual retail price without going over $756. Bowie Jane, you are the winner. Whack. Whacker than whack. Yeah, I was screaming during Tribal was good. That was amazing, but I'm worried about. Well, he's got so many enemies at this point. The only way that Caleb is safe like that is if he actually is on the winning tribe for the week. But I've heard multiple people are coming, so how are you going to have pressure cooker and a power that just... This is what I'm... If you're going to put a power into the game, the audacity to make the power after pressure cooker. You're going to tell me that man... I'm not even like the hugest Cameron fan, but you're going to tell me that dude stood up there all night only for his HOH not to count for jack anything. Yeah, Bruce is going too hard. Bruce doesn't know how to play the Sari, which is to downplay whatever he is. And he has less to downplay, but he's like, well, don't think of me as a celebrity. I don't want you to think I'm different from y'all. I'm just Uncle Bruce. Bruce, tone it down. And I don't usually say that. But Bruce, tone it down, sir. Honestly, half these people wouldn't even know who the returning players. I know. I still to this day was cracking up when Pressure Cooker came. And they were like, oh, Pressure Cooker. And half of them were like, wait, what's Pressure Cooker? I was like, you should get automatically disqualified for even asking that question. Even I know what Pressure Cooker is. Truly a luck season. Agree, Mom, over him. Imagine Taylor walks in. No, that's one person they would know because she's recent and they probably follow her on social media. But if it was like, they've said so many wrong things about BB23, it's crazy. Like Felicia supposedly is a super fan, and she has given so much false information about BB23. What do you think about Naked Enough? You signed up for that? Oh, wow. You are a brave individual, Jacqueline. I think I watched maybe a couple of episodes of that. I mean, it's all right. I was never super into it. I was surprised America failed at that comp. It seemed like production catered comps for each of their strengths, and they still lost her through them. I could imagine them saying that to an older winner, but to the woman who literally won last season. But there's a lot of things that they're saying about last season that are wrong. I mean, not knowing Taylor would be huge, but they did not. Some of them did not know who Kesar was. Isn't it time for individuals win? That's what will save Caleb. Oh, yes. Let's get Izzy B out before she stings one of us. Izzy, I posted on my community page that I saw that Izzy was doing a flute performance tonight. Honestly, I would have gone if I had known in advance, but she posted it. By the time I saw it, it was late. I probably would have gone. I flipped through the channels once and I accidentally flipped through Naked and Afraid. It's Naked Survivor, y'all. It's Naked Survivor. What's going on, Trill, homie? Okay. So tomorrow we have the POV ceremony. Question. This is something that I have been meaning to ask for the POV ceremony. When there's 4 people left and the person who's not on the block wins the POV ceremony, do they just go through the motions of them being like, I'm keeping the noms the same, or they have some kind of script where they say, since there's only 2 people on here and there's nobody to replace you, I'm going to use it on myself? Is that what they do? Because what's the point of having the ceremony at that point? I used to watch that, Ma. Oh, there is no ceremony. Okay. But there would have been a ceremony if Matt or Felicia had won? Or is there never a ceremony in Final Four? I remember a man refused to sit close to this woman because he was a Christian. She asked, could they touch arms for warmth? He was like, the power of Christ compels you. Very ceremonious. Cerise said in an exit interview, Izzy was definitely invited to Thanksgiving dinner. She didn't mention Matt. She said Izzy's a Fields for life. I thought the show was crazy, and then you watched it. You watch it now. I think they stand up and cast the vote. But if Matt had won and him being on the block, I don't know how that would work. I got a call. Dang. What was your Survivor question? I must have missed it. They make the decision at the vote out. Oh, okay. So in Final Four, they don't have a separate ceremony. I got it. Keeping the secret, just one blue over for Sari. I don't think there's a ceremony for veto. They cast a vote. Okay, so we're not going to get a veto ceremony. So it's just going to be the drama at the elimination itself. If Jag decides to be the sole vote to evict Matt. I did watch Survivor. I watched Survivor yesterday. I didn't end up making a video about it, but I did watch it. And I'm actually, as soon as I get off here, I'm going to watch the House of Villains episode also. And tomorrow, since I'm not going to be really invested in the feeds, I'm probably going to catch up on episode 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Big Brother Canada. Since it's basically almost like Big Brother is over for me at this point. Hi, Mark. I'm late. Hi, chat. But better late than never. That's what I always say, is better late than never. The season of Survivor is the best so far in the new era. It's a good season. Before I say best, I have to see how it ends. I hope we get a veto Sunday. Was that the final veto? It should be. Yep, it is the final veto because there's only 4 left. Hi, Ma. It was good. New York went off, and it had me and my mom hollering. Let me tell you something, though. I'll tell you something about New York. New York is the first reality TV person who became a star. And the reason I say that, there were reality TV stars before New York. She's not the first person to become famous from reality TV. But I think that New York got on TV to be a star. And she was the first to actually get on one of these shows with the intent to be a star. Then she got I Love New York. She got I Love New York Part 2. She got New York Goes to Work. 2 people got spin-offs, or one person got a spin-off. 2 people got a spin-off off of being on her show. And then she was on College Hill. Now she's on House of Villains. I think she's been on multiple other things. So I think that her and Omarosa, or Omarosa, or however you say her name, Omarosa, I think they're acting. But I think a lot of those people on House of Villains are playing into the, TV aspects of it, but it doesn't make me enjoy it any less because I know what I'm watching. The quitters ruined this. Oh yeah, I forgot. We had back-to-back quits. I think Blue will be like some of my son's girlfriends. They were around until they weren't. Kitty, kitty, purr, purr. My choir got invited to Carnegie Hall to sing. I hope they sing on key, but congratulations. Can't relate, Deborah. Never been in a relationship before. So, y'all know what time it is. Well, you don't know what time it is, but I got 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I'm not even going to say 8. I got 10 minutes left. So I'm going to take the time to say, before you put your last comments in here, I appreciate everybody for jumping on here, supporting me. Wow, weird day. 94. 94 in the Big Brother house. If you wonder why I'm looking down, it's because I'm going to drop my Discord link in a second. Because when I'm not on here, we've actually developed a pretty interesting group that chats on Discord when I jump off these lives. So I'm going to put my Discord link in here so that, if you want the after chat, there it is. It's pinned. When I saw Omarosa on there and then I saw her in the first episode, I'm like, she prepared to be on this show, clearly. She's not. There's no way that I can believe that character that she's showing is just her regular personality. I bet she's so regular in real life. Let me tell you something. From going to these events, sometimes you look at things on TV and think they're so real. There is only one time ever, and I mean ever, that I saw 2 people that had a TV beef on a show, on a present day show, because I know that prior, like, reality TV show beefs were more real. But on a present day show, there's only one time at any of these events that I've been to that I ever saw 2 people that genuinely did not rock with each other in any way. I saw people that on this TV show looked like mortal enemies. And I saw them hugging each other up. I love you, bro. I love you, sis. Taking shots together. Don't believe everything you watch. They be doctoring some stuff up for the views. I hope my son never has a blue. if we do go to New York City, I'm gonna sing off key near your apartment. But the Quitters meanie, we got to keep the more entertaining people, so it kind of worked out. It was very nice that I'm gonna be singing off key for Mark. Trill homie, you don't want a kitty per daughter-in-law. Sam, what about Sam? Boots down. Kitty-in-law. Sam, out of anybody, let me tell you, out of anybody that I ever met from any of these shows that I ever watched, you look at Sam on the TV, you meet Sam in real life, exactly the same. No difference, except she curses more. Aside from that, same person. Where are we at here? I can't stand it when people on these shows tell each. I can't, especially Big Brother. Big Brother after one day. Oh, I love you. They hugging each other up. I love you. I love you. And then when somebody goes out, they're like, I can't believe my best friend is going home. I'm like, best friend? What? She hasn't had a show. They're making the most out of their new 15 minutes of fame. I'll tell you that much. The first time I saw Omarosa on the Trump show, she must have acted really good, even because even back. Well, I'm not even saying that she's likable. I'm just saying, or she was likable. I'm just saying she's aware that the more extra she is, the more screen time she's gonna get. That's what I'm saying. Nothing. I removed the comment. Will Jag make the biggest and most important shot for his game Sunday? Find out on Big Brother. The Trump show, you mean The Apprentice? Banana said in an argument with Corey on the Challenge USA, it was just him. And I believe this. I met Bananas. Bananas was at the first event that I ever went to, the first challenge event that I ever attended. I saw him walk into the room and I'm like, I am the worst bananas hater. Well, I'm not the worst one, but I just mean I always rooted against him for 20 years. Walked into the room. First thing I said to him when I spoke to him, I was like, oh, I'm a lifetime West fan. I thought he was going to say some crazy stuff to me. He had a laugh at it. He made a joke. And we had a 20-minute conversation. He's one of the nicest people I've met at these events. I'm not even saying I don't know anything much about him personally. I haven't spoken to him since. It was just that one time, but I've spoken to other castmates who said that he's one of the nicest people they've ever met too. So I believe that he's doing TV also. Sam is the realist. For sure. Big D kind of hated Tiffany. He didn't like being told what to do. Yeah. Imagine getting fired from Trump on The Apprentice and then seeing his mugshot, knowing that's the man who fired you. Yeah, Big D, Tiffany, and Hannah, they have a podcast called Reality. Not Reality, Royalty. I'm merging it with my channel. Royalty. They have a channel called Royalty. Shout out to all three of them. I've met all three of them. I have met now 6 out of the 7 Cookout members. And Hannah and Tiffany and Big D, definitely my favorite 3 out of those 6. out of those 5 that I met. I did not meet Xavier. Sari putting on the I love you mask is comical. Oh yeah, that's nice. Matt ain't gonna know which way Riley went by Christmas. Most challenge arguments are fake AF. Oh yeah. He and Wes are friends, LOL. I'm so tired of the making good TV. I know, me too. Things are different. I know that a lot of y'all probably don't care or watched or didn't watch The Real World back then, but if you if you saw Real World LA, which was season 2 of The Real World, John Brennan from that season, who's been on my podcast a couple of times, he has a podcast. I forgot what it's called. Getting Real with John and Beth. So Beth from his Real World season and also from multiple seasons of the challenge, they do a podcast together, him and Beth, and they were talking about how back in the day, production just walked around with the cameras and they just did whatever, and production just caught it whenever. He was saying how when they did the Real World Homecoming, if any of y'all watched the Real World Homecoming, they were talking about how production would be like, oh no, don't have that conversation now. Go into the living room, and now would be a good time to bring this thing up with David. Oh, now you and Tammy should have this conversation about this, and production would be like directing them and telling them to recreate moments or wait to talk about certain things so they can get the cameras and mics set up. It's not the same thing. You have to understand that nowadays it's like putting a movie together in a way versus just, oh, we're just going to put the cameras up and let you guys do whatever. No, we want to have everything have a certain look. We got to edit our product a certain way. We got to take certain things out. We got to make things look, give it a certain flair. So there's elements of real to it. And the reason I say that is because no matter what they tell you to do, there is moments where your real emotions are going to get involved. But a lot of things are fake. Shouted out your own channel. I sure did. Appreciate the cookout goal, but did all the cookout members have to make it to the end? Well, that's it. For it to be the cookout, yes, they did. He did Sarah dirty. That was one of the most classic betrayals. Classic betrayals in reality TV history. I watched every season of The Real World up until when it started getting corny. The last, I don't know how many seasons, but the most recent seasons, I wasn't watching those. Anyone remember when I think Brendan was having a conversation with Brittany Hayes? He told her she was going up, but then redid the conversation. If it was a moment when I was. Yeah, he said it was overproduced. Oh, you watched that interview or you watched that podcast? I would believe Berna actually is arguing with people though on this season. This woman might just be a bit crazy. Ma, which member is that shade towards? We keep complaining about being corny, but we keep coming back to watch it. Honestly, in 2020, the only reality TV show that I watched is The Challenge. I didn't watch anything else. I was an avid reality TV fan from The Real World. I started watching The Real World, and then I started watching The Challenge. And up until, I don't know, 2013, 2014, something along those lines, I was watching these shows religiously, and then there was 6-7 years when I didn't watch any reality TV, including the challenge. I started back on the challenge 2019. Then the pandemic happened. And when I was in my house, nothing to do, completely bored, couldn't leave, then I gave Big Brother a chance. Then when I started covering Big Brother on my channel and people told me watch Survivor, I watched Survivor. Somebody recommended The Mole, and then somebody recommended whatever else. And that's how I got into this rabbit hole. But to be truthful with y'all, I could cut off all reality TV today. Take away this channel aspect of it, I wouldn't miss it because it's not the same thing that I'm watching. But I enjoy watching it because I enjoy like watching and recapping and having people to speak to about it. Two members cast. Guess who? Oh, you watched my interview with John. The first one or the second one? I guess he kind of said it in both. Big Brother, The Amazing Race, and Survivor are my only reality TV shows. Kylan and Big D. Azza and Big D. Kylan was annoying as hell, but at least he wasn't a coaster. And I didn't think of it until Hannah said it to me in my interview with her. Kylan was one of the most important elements of the cookout because Kylan was the Heism of the cookout, except they weren't like, oh, we need to get out Kylan because we can't get him out later. They were like, nah, let's let Kylan the comp beast stay here and take people out for us. And then we're going to take him out later once we're in the 6. I don't think they deserve to get that far. I love being able to talk BB as a community. Yeah, that's the BB community. Not the BB community as in the general BB community, but the BB community that has developed on my page is the only reason why I've stuck out this season. Because y'all are the best. This is the best BB community on the net. It's not the largest one, but it's definitely the best one. And probably that's why. Because those huge networks, you don't know who's who on there. All right, y'all. Kylan was a Heism if Heism actually made it a month in. Hi, Jericho. When the writers strike and now the actors strike, I would not be able to do without this at this time. The mindful reality community. Hi, D. It's the best because I'm on it. I read that in an off-key voice. Yep, and X threw comps until the end. Kylan carried comps and Tiffany had strategy. Kylan sure was, and that's why I was shocked when he said he was autistic on the challenge. He actually announced that he was autistic on his Instagram page. I want to say last year sometime, or either last year or very early this year, but whatever it was before he was on the challenge. I hate that off-key voice. And shout out to Amber. Amber actually announced about her having an autism diagnosis last year sometime. And she was the first to do it. As far as I can remember, I think so. But anyways, y'all, the counter. I said 10 minutes. It's been probably about 20 something, 25. But once again, appreciate y'all for being on here. Oh, thanks so much, Drana. And I will for sure be on here tomorrow at some point. Tomorrow we're heading into day 95. Actually, it's day 95 already on the East Coast. Peace and love to every single one of you. Hope you have a great Friday night / Saturday morning, depending on where you are. And we will talk soon.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on it.
That wasn't planned.
you know what?
Thank
But
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
this one.
well,